So I hope everybody's doing well. It's been a while. Y'all might have not noticed, but I've actually have not been here for about 2 weeks. I had to have some stuff taken care of, and I'm feeling a lot better. I am recovering. We're going to see how this goes. I might have to stop a little bit along the way, but I am feeling good, and I'm excited. And if y'all can't tell, I have a brand new table here. I've decided to go with the white theme for a little bit. Actually, my son is the one that picked this out, so we'll see how it goes. White doesn't usually do very well with me, but I am loving it so far. So we're just going to do this reading on whatever it is you need to know. This is hopefully going to be a Sunday reading. I'm hoping that I will get this out on a Sunday, and if not, we'll just consider this to be a reading of whatever it is you need to know. And I only have 3 piles here to choose from. As I'm recovering, I know that's probably about what I have energy for until I get into where I feel a little bit better, and then I can do 4 piles again. So these are newer decks. So pile 1 here, this is called the Mythos Tarot. And you actually have 2 hearts here. I don't know why I chose that, but I decided it needed 2 hearts on there. These are both rose quartz hearts. And then you also have, actually this is a cat's eye, and this is a rainbow quartz. And then also you have this, pile 2 here, which is called the Earth Woman Tarot, which is new. And I cannot show you the actual back of the card. So we have to kind of keep that hidden. So we're going to figure that out as we go. But it's also a very beautiful deck. And then pile 3 here is called the Artist Decoded Tarot, which I have used before. And this, I forgot to mention for pile 2, is the clear quartz that I'll always use on my desk. And then here for pile 3, this is the bigger version of the heart rose quartz crystal. Okay, so if you want to take a big giant deep breath, hold it at the top for about 4 seconds, then let it out. And when you let it out, open your eyes, and whatever pile you feel like is just calling you towards it. Sometimes we find ourselves being called to more than one pile, and it could be there's a message there that may be a smaller message, or it might be a message for someone else that's close to you where you could perhaps get some good advice from, hopefully. So timestamps for everything will be down below, and I will see you at your pile. Hey, pile 1. So if you chose the Mythos Tarot, this is going to be a reading. So now we do have, for whatever reason, I decided to put both of these hearts on this deck, which I thought was kind of interesting. So we're really kind of open this up to whatever it is you need to know. It's been a while since I've been here, and so I just kind of wanted to just put it out there with whatever spirit decides that you need some information on that maybe you're not seeing, you don't know to ask. Maybe you have been asking for it, and hopefully this will help you come up with some sort of resolution or closure. Okay, so not sure where I'm going to put those exactly. I'm just going to keep messing with them. So we're going to put the Mythos Tarot here to the side, and I have some new oracles as well that I'm going to start with because I've been having to sit in bed, and unfortunately Amazon is a real thing. And sitting in bed and having Amazon is 2 horrible things. But luckily, I only got 3 new decks. One of them was this oracles, and then the 2 tarot that I'm using today as well. But so this is called the Time Traveler's Oracles, and we're going to choose 3 of these, unless more come out, to tell me the storyline about what it is that you're needing to know at this time. Okay, pile 1, pile 1, pile 1. I will take reversals in this deck. I have no idea why. I just feel the need for that, so I'm going to go with it. Pile 1. What do you need to know, pile 1? What is it that you need to know? Right off the bat, we have reversal, and it actually is the card of love. 27 could be important, but 25 is of this card. I'm not going to dare butcher what that says down there at the bottom, but I can say it does say India on there. This is a reflection that you're seeing here of this one dove, which is interesting because you do have these two other doves here that aren't part of this reflection that you see. So with this being in reverse, and I just talked about reversals, you have the two hearts that are here. Some of you, this could have to do with kind of being a little topsy-turvy when it comes to love, maybe how you're seeing love or feeling about love. Some of you could be going through a separation or a breakup or trying to understand your situation. So we're going to go with that. By the way, I love the card. It's pink and blue, my favorite colors. So right now, you could be looking at things in more a distorted way, or you could be kind of in the sense of a mystery of love and how your situation is. You know, different for everybody how your situation is. But I feel like you're more in a moon energy. So I feel like you're more in that place of illusion or the unknown. And reflecting on that, the illusion and the unknown, and what's real and what's not. Another card in reversal. And I have shuffled and played with this deck, just so you're aware. This is the card of protection, and it's the number 33, actually. And it says the Cave of Hands. So I do feel that for some of you, this is very hermity, you know, and this being in reverse with protection, you could be in a place to where maybe you're trying to get out of this place of feeling the need to protect yourself or feeling the need to overanalyze a situation. With this being the Hermit, you know, it could be that you're in a place of, okay, so here I am and I've thought about this and thought about this. It's almost like you know, you can really only put your hand in so many different ways. How long can you be in that cave before you realize that, you know? How many different scenarios can you tell yourself before it's time to, you know, come out of that place of isolation with how to protect yourself? At some point, you always have to kind of just take that leap and go off of faith. And I think that maybe that's something that you've been kind of sitting in, kind of a darker energy that you've been sitting in. What else? We'll turn this around just for fun. See if we get a upright card here. What else? One more, please, for pile one, what they need to know. Yes, we did. Miracles. And it happens to be that, you know, 27 is here. So you do have 25, you have 33, and you have 27. And I'm pretty sure I accidentally called this first card here 27. So this could be maybe some mirroring going on. I do have the two hearts that you're experiencing with someone. So you see the northern lights here, which is amazing. Iceland, I do know someone here that has sent me the, I think it's called the Northern Lights Tarot, or something to that nature, that is reminding me of this card. There goes my voice. This is, you see the polar bear that's here and the way that he's looking at this, but I mean, I'm sure this polar bear has seen this a million times, right? This idea of something, this amazement, this miracle, you know, and someone is in, I feel like, more of a need to, a want to, or is, if this is another person. Very much so mirroring this idea of a miracle taking place, or having an opportunity or a chance in it being somewhat of a miracle. All this green is the heart chakra. So it's something that is stimulating those feelings. It's something that's stimulating the ability to see something from the heart space, from the place of the northern star, you know, following your compass here and trying to have faith in this situation. And I think this is like where you're leading up to, and this is where you're either wanting to be, or it's where you're leading up to. I also feel like I said before, these could be two different people that I'm looking at here that are in this energy of protection. And okay, so what do I do in this situation here? I'm at this place of protection. I've seen this in a million different ways. At some point, I have to take that leap and step into this faith and hope for the best, hope for a miracle. Even though, you know, you've kind of experienced something over and over again, it always still is amazing to see those northern lights, right? You know, that part never changes. And kind of that's how you may be stepping into faith, or someone is. And then you have them either coming out of, or someone else over here that is having a difficult time trying to figure out where they feel safe as far as what is real and what's not real. Is this an illusion? Is this a fantasy? Is this something that can at some point be a reality, or am I fooling myself here in this situation? And there's some reflection going on with that, because there's a want or a need for peace of mind, comfort, and feeling safe. Bottom of the deck is a reversal, and it says chaos. Which, accidentally picked up that one. It says vanity 44, so that might be important for somebody here. Somebody may be kind of experiencing somewhat of some kind of experience of vanity, or maybe even jealousy. Speaking of chaos, that was my most chaotic son. They are all very chaotic, but that one in particular, they said, he's my third child. He's 7 years old. And they told me, just have one more. You're not going to be able to notice. You already have two. What's one more? Which my ex was totally against, but I wanted a girl so bad I couldn't see straight. Did I get it? I did not. I love my 3 boys, though. And I am happy for them. I know that girls are different in nature, to say the least. But I'm happy to have him, but he is somewhat chaotic. Now, the thing about my son is he has a Leo moon. So he has this big Leo heart. And regardless of his fiery nature, and also Libra, by the way, and Capricorn. So he knows what he wants is he wants fairness, but he leads sometimes with his heart, but it comes in a way of passion. And sometimes that's hard. It's a hard energy to read. So that might be somebody that you could be dealing with that I'm describing. That's just like my little son. That at times can be somewhat chaotic because their passion may be very big. And that's not a bad thing, right? And with this chaotic card here, and it's actually the number 6. And it does say Italy on here, by the way. It being in reverse with planning. It's almost like there's this idea of trying to plan for things not to be chaotic, for them to be peaceful. And this is like a desire that you want, a desire that maybe 2 people want. It's a feeling of wanting to maintain that sense of passion, but it still be peaceful at the same time. Like my son. Okay, so let's get the tarot. Okay. So, I'm so excited, of course, like always, to show y'all this deck because it is so pretty. I mean, I wasn't expecting, it looked good, but it's one of those things that looks good, but it's like a picture of the beach, it looks so good in the picture, but it's nothing like being there, right? That's what this deck is like. Okay, what does pile 1 need to know? What does pile 1 need to know? Whoop, that came right over there. We have the King of Swords in reverse. It's Aquarius energy there for me. What does pile 1 need to know? You have a Page of Swords in the reverse. Some heavy thinking. Some of that heavy sense of wanting to understand, wanting to know, need to know. Page of Swords in reverse. The Ten of Cups in the reverse. That would be your that feeling of feeling it, what a miracle could look like, versus what could happen if it's not the case. It's like, what if I spend all my money on this car that I want so bad? I want this car so bad. It looks so good on paper. Looks good, feels good, sounds good. What if I spend my money and finally get this dream car and I drive it for a month and something terrible goes wrong with it and they really pulled one over on me at the dealership, something like that. That, I don't know why I'm describing it in that way, but that's for somebody. But that is what this feels like. This Ten of Cups in reverse, that's what it feels like. Justice in reverse. What's fair here? What's fair in this? We talked a little bit about that. One more. We have Libra energy there. The Five of Pentacles in the reverse. I want to get some clarifiers now. Y'all don't comment. Say, there we go. That's my confirmation there for you guys. From Spirit, they're backing me up here. Do not comment to me about this tarot being all in reverse, okay? Because it doesn't matter. Once you start reading tarot for a long period of time, I have discovered that if it is in reverse, it's upright, you're reading the story of what the cards mean, and that doesn't mean that that's always an indicator of part of the story. It's just if you're reading the story, you're going to read it the way it's meant to be read. Now, every now and then, if a card pops out in a very particular way with me, which is very aggressive, I know how to take that card. Just a little backstory. So you got the Five of Pentacles there in reverse as well. We're going to get some clarifiers. I really need to understand what this Justice in reverse is about. Tell me about the King of Swords in the reverse. What's fair? You have a Four of Swords in the reverse. So there is a lot of thinking here. There's a lot of thinking. There's a lot of, I would say there's a lot of overthinking that's here as well. The Four of Swords is kind of like when you can get stuck within that place of, okay, I need to think about this longer. Like you almost get to that point to where you understand what you want, or you understand how you're seeing something, and then it's like something triggers you and you're like, nope, this is what I thought, but you know what? I need to think about this more. I need to think about this again. I need to do it one more time. Maybe I'm not quite, maybe I don't quite understand this yet. So there's been some sort of setback that's here that I'm feeling that's caused you to kind of rethink something. Page of Swords. Whoop, okay. They just gave me a couple cards with that Page of Swords, which I want to say is a message that may have not been sent. Okay, not everybody's story. Take it how it resonates, of course. But you have a Knight of Swords here, so this could be a message that you want to express that you haven't. This could be someone else that's wanting to express this message that hasn't, or something that's already took place. Okay. So the Knight of Swords is someone that's wanting to come in. They're wanting to take action. They're wanting to express something. They're even in a place to where they almost need to. I need to say something, right? I need to take an action here. I need to do something here. Then you have the Six of Swords, which is telling me that this is somebody that wants to take action towards making some sort of transition. It's time for a change. It's time for something to calm down. It's time for something to get to a place of where we can make this transition into something different, into something new, and leave something mentally behind. Okay? And you have a Three of Pentacles, which is about working together. We need to work together. We need to have this commitment. We need to, I want your help in this. I want to be a team here. I want you to be a team player here. I want to be a team player. I want to commit to something here with this. I want to see if you want to be a part of this with me. Then you have the Chariot in reverse. Now, part of this is not knowing which direction that this is going to take. It's kind of like when you ask someone a question that's dear to your heart, but you don't know what their answer is going to be, and it can either go towards your greatest fear or towards giving you a sense of joy or faith. And I think that's part of what the Chariot is, and this is also Cancer energy as well. But it's almost like where something can either come to a halt, and I think that's something that you need here as well. You need to know if something should come to a halt. Whatever page-wise message this is that you're holding on to or someone else is holding on to, knows that when they do take this action to try to make this transition, to have this commitment and work with you, or follow through with this, that they're giving you that option to choose, and it can go either way or the other. But either way, it could come to a halt. And that is, I feel like, part of the risk that's here that this person or you are thinking about taking. It's almost like I do feel a little, not a lot, but but maybe a little bit of an ultimatum to some aspect here. So I'm going to try to pick up a little more on that and see if I can figure out why that is. But I do feel like there's some kind of a little bit of an ultimatum going on here. Okay. Lost my voice when I said okay, but I actually just took a drink of my coffee for a second. I know I have a new, whole speaker setup, and I do not want to slurp in your ear. So let's get one card, please, for the Page of Swords. What is this? One card, please. The Seven of Wands. Now that about sums it up, right? Because this bunny also may be important here. I'm gonna hold this up. I don't know why that is, but there it is. This bunny right here that she's holding, it may be important in some kind of way. It's funny because I just actually sent my picture of my friend that lives in the country, and I no longer do. So I sent her a picture of animals that I would like to own that she can. And she does have way too many to begin with, but I sent her a picture of a rabbit, and it was a gorgeous looking rabbit, but it just had babies, and it had about 6 of them, and then she was feeding them, and she was just laying on her back, and she sent me a message. She said, she looks unalive. And I said, well, wouldn't you be? She looks exhausted. And I don't know why I'm bringing that up, but this bunny right here, it could be that you may be in a place to where you're almost kind of exhausted trying to maybe defend yourself with this Seven of Wands, or that you are, like the rabbit, doing something that she knows she has to do because she's having to take responsibility, for her babies. And she wants to nurture it and take care of it and take care of them. But it doesn't mean that it's not going to be exhausting from time to time. Maybe this is something that's part of this experience here. This could also just represent you, like let's just put this in terms of regardless of love, a work thing. So maybe better understood that way. If this was a work thing, this would be like knowing that there's something that you really want to defend, that you feel you're good at, you want to continue, you want to put effort into, but you also know that it is going to be hard work. It is going to be exhausting. You will have to defend yourself here, defend your honor, defend your right, defend your work, but there is something here that you're wanting to express, or you want to act on, or you want to know before you kind of take this long journey. And this may be in the hands of someone else, like a boss or a loved one or a partner. 10 of Cups in reverse. Two of Swords. There's that choice. There's that indecision that you're sitting in with that 10 of Cups. Now remember, I said that 10 of Cups was what I described that as, like a car. Like a car. Like having all that money, you saved up, you're ready to buy that car, but it's like, oh man. Have you ever had to write a big check? I had to do that not too long ago, and boy, my hand was shaking because you just don't want to give that away. You think about all the things that you could provide with that, but you also know you have to give it to whoever, let's just say Texas, for instance, and how that feeling of just, that feeling of, I just do not want to have to do this, but I also know that I need to, or it's has to be done. There's something here about something that just has to be done, and it has to do with responsibility in some sort of way. You have this feeling of needing to take responsibility for something that you're just now totally getting the grasp of. And you need to make some sort of decision here of what it is, maybe exactly that it is that you want, and what's important to you, and what you want to protect. And the problem, when situations in our life are really difficult, when we have, I had a therapist tell me this one time. She's like, well, just go write down what all the pros and the cons are. Well, she had no idea that I have a Libra moon. And that is hard to do for any Libras, right? I hope you'll have my back on this, because we can come up with just as many pros as cons. So that didn't work out for my favor at all. And sometimes that's the case. You can look at a situation, you can say, well, I mean, there's some really good pro things that could happen here. And then you could say, but, there's some really negative things. And what happens if that comes out equal? And you could be in a place like that, that you're trying to work through. And with that, guess what? That's when faith steps in. That's when faith steps in. Look at that Knight of Cups. I think for a lot of you, this has to do with how you feel about something. Person, place, or thing. I am feeling a lot of love here, though, when it comes to a relationship. It's just said I was not going to slurp in front of y'all, and I did, so I apologize for that. But the reason I say that about love is because of the 2 hearts, and the first card out says love. So, this Knight of Cups is when someone feels a lot of excitement. Kind of like the way I feel with you guys today. I'm really excited to be back. I love tarot. I love doing this. I love the experience of it. I love being able to tell y'all stories that have occurred, lessons that I have learned in my life and still learning. Still aren't we all? Always. Once we think we have stuff figured out, we're still learning. And it's just like life has a way of slapping you in your face and saying, you're not as smart as you think you are. Even though you learned this giant lesson. And I just feel like that's just part of the experience. And I like to be able to express that to you guys and hopefully give y'all some kind of advice that can help you in your life to find peace and grace and faith, because that's really all there is, right? And of course, love. Love does help with a lot of that. And this Knight of Cups, that's that feeling. That's that feeling when you have that heart feeling, like we talked about with miracles there. That feeling of, what those northern lights are going to look like, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't make it special every time. It's always like, wow, Now I haven't gotten that opportunity to see that, but before I die one day, I will. And this is kind of like what I'm feeling here with you guys, is like this could be like this big chance or big opportunity. And you don't know what to do here with this. You don't know what's fair. You don't maybe even necessarily know exactly what it is that you want. But I think that a lot of you are mostly afraid of having this big dream, this big wish, this big desire, all these pros that you can see, and then it not happening. It not going the way that you have built up in your heart for it to go. I think that that's a fear that is keeping you blocked from being able to fully step into faith. 5 of Pentacles in reverse. 5 of Pentacles is when you get into a more lack mindset. When it's in reverse, it's like you need to get out of it. It's sitting in a boat that has a small hole, and you say to yourself, you know what? I could probably sit here for a good couple hours and I would be fine. I bet I could wait a minute and then I can make it, to over here in the other place. Maybe I'll even lay down and take a nap. I bet I got at least an hour, before this boat gets to where it's going to sink on me. And then you realize that you don't have the time that you thought you had, and you need to make a change. You need to do something about it. It's time to pick yourself up. It's time to quit saying, dadgummit, why do I have a hole here? And, cursing everybody about it, and actually do something about it. And I think that's what this right here is, this 5 of Pentacles. And your inner energy, or someone is, of knowing that, wanting to have that positive change take place. 9 of Swords is there in reverse. In reverse. That means, again, it's the same kind of energy of you knowing that, what is that light that I see out there at the end of that tunnel? Holy cow, is that a land that I see right there? I can maybe make it without having to get into these shark-infested waters, something like that. And you're in this place of knowing this. That's why you know you need to make a decision. That's why you know you need to, or you want to really step into this place of faith, and that everything is going to work out like you want it to. And you know that it can be one way or another. Just like this chaos, just like my son. You know, dadgummit, he's got more energy than everybody, and he could tear up everything in the house. But then he just comes up to you and he wraps his bell arms around you and he gives you the best hug. And that's just going to make me cry thinking about it. And it's just worth it. It's just worth it. I don't know what to say. It's just like, I mean, of course, I don't let him get away with everything. It's hard to get onto that kid because he's got such a big heart. But, what's cleaning up a little bit of stuff? There's a lesson in that for him, right? So maybe that's what you need to do here, how you need to look at this is it's all the emotion and all the fire and all the desire and all of what you put into something and the experience in itself and the feeling that you feel that makes chaos not as big of a deal. Sometimes it's always the best of memories that we make in our life. They make all that chaos not look like as much. Just like my son has put me through a roller coaster, but it doesn't have any comparison at all to how much love and joy that I get from him. And I think that's what you're going through, what you're experiencing, and what you're understanding here about whatever this is for you guys. And I feel like for some of you, I don't know why, I feel like some of you, this may have to do with your children, because I keep bringing it up. Okay. If not, it's either love, it's either money, or it's either some sort of big purchase, or it is something to do with a career. I can tell you that for sure. You have a 6 of Pentacles here. As I say that, in reverse the bottom of the deck, which is your overall energy. I also picked up the Sun in reverse, which is Leo energy here. Yeah. This is really ultimately your greatest fear is the disappointment. Being disappointed. This is what's keeping you at that crossroads, stuck from being able to move forward and really explore what it is that you want to explore with that Knight of Wands. Being stuck in that 2 of Wands in reverse. What to choose? Fear of the unknown. Fear of not knowing if something is going to give to you or take from you. Make you feel joy and happiness and sunshine, or if it's going to be cloudy and rainy for days. Fear of this. That is what's keeping you in this energy that you're in. And what are you stuck in between? What it is that you love, desire, want. Fear of that or illusions of that versus that miracle, that faith. That everything's going to work out and it's going to be awesome to see regardless, or awesome to feel regardless. And you have to have faith in that and protecting yourself. So I want to get, we're going to get these right here for advice. And then I'm going to just get some postcard from Spirit because I feel like they're going to give us a really good one. And then we'll get some initials to close, okay? Some of y'all are fixing to, and it is true too, I do feel like for some of you may be afraid that what you're hoping or wishing for is not going to be the same or reciprocal in some kind of way. There is a little bit of that there. Let's get some advice on that real quick. Maybe why I'm bringing that up. Sacred sexuality. You may be afraid of something not being as attracted to you as you are to it for some of you. This is also the number 44. Where did I see? We have 33 there. The number 4433, I don't know what that angel number means, but that could be relevant here for some of you. If I don't forget and I edit this right, I will definitely put that somewhere on the screen. Don't know where yet. It says sacred sexuality. Honor yourself and your body as the sacred vessel that it is. And refuse to give yourself away to those that do not honor and respect you. So for some of you, this is a message here of if someone you are in that place where you feel like it's not reciprocated in some kind of way, then it doesn't mean anything about your character, your person, who you are. It means that it's not your purpose, and that's okay. You know, have you ever been in life where you knew there was something that you wanted to do? Man, I'm just gonna make up something, but when I was a kid, I really wanted my hair to be bright pink, like really bad, really bad. I wanted it to be bright pink. Well, like right soon after that, they changed the rules at school, and you couldn't like do different hair color, and which I think now is different, but I don't know. But at that time, I was like, man, I'm so glad I didn't do that, because that would have been not such a fun experience, right? I might want to take a look and see what just fell on the table, because you got the full there now in reverse, which was me not taking that experience for that leap to do my hair pink. It's funny, I still think about that from time to time. I do not know why. Maybe somebody's thinking about that. Rose hair is really pretty as well. Anyway, Six of Pentacles here, upright now, and the Sun. I see. There's that Two of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Three of Wands. Okay. This is about going for it right here. You know, it's funny, this all just flipped and the Fool's here in reverse. I want to say something about naivety, okay? So it's something that I feel like one of the lessons that I continue to learn throughout my whole entire life. It's okay to be naive, you know? Sometimes you have to be in order to take that leap. You have to have a little bit of that sense of, you know what? Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to wing it. You know, maybe I shouldn't be here, you know, or, you know, sometimes I substitute at school for my friends, like pre-K kids. And I think halfway in it is, bless her heart, you know, she takes on so much. Like, I should not be here right now with these kids, you know, just so much patience. It's things like that. Maybe this is part of this in some kind of way to help you get through this. It's not being naive. It has to do with you having courage and finding your own bravery. And, finding your own balance and happiness and wanting that and going for it and making that plan and that decision to take off and do what you want to do, to have that new start that you're wanting, that you're fiery and passionate about here. To be patient here as well, to wait for the right timing as well, I think is important. Okay, side note, can we get back to it now? You could be reflecting on your body image not in the best way possible at this time. And it could be because of an outside influence, has nothing to do with you. And I want to read this again. Honor yourself and your body as a sacred vessel that it is, and refuse to give yourself away to those who do not honor and respect you. Okay? Felt like I needed to just repeat myself. So there you go. What other advice do you have for pile 1? Vibe check. Check your vibe. Number 29. It says low vibrational energies are affecting your ability to manifest your best life. Clear the negative energy that's attached to you. So some of you may have still hold on now. There's something here with that. Some of you may have something to do with being trapped in your head or in your mindset, keeping yourself kind of captive here. because of some sort of choice that maybe that you made in the past that caused conflict or didn't work out. And so that's what's keeping you afraid to commit to something here and make that decision to move forward. So check your vibe there with that. Some of you, that's just maybe a negative, chaotic situation from your past that is a kind of like an emotional baggage that's keeping you attached to it and keeping you from being able to have a more high vibrational energy so that you can really step fully into that faith or that idea of something working out for you here. Okay, I don't know why. I just picked up this deck and started shuffling and this card came out. So it's the Queen of Wands in reverse. This could be someone from what I was talking about, or this could be your energy, but it's Sagittarius for me. You have a 7 of Cups here now at the bottom of the deck, which is all about being emotionally confused when it comes to choices. And there's illusions there. You know why? Because there's 7 cups with totally different things in them. And the trick is, you don't know what's in the cup. So there could be deception, there could be love, there could be some insecurities that pop up. There could be some things that you don't know, your worst nightmares, you know, all kinds of stuff in those cups. There could be rainbows and sunshine in one of those cups. And that is your overall energy here with this Queen of Wands that pops out in reverse. Now, she is the most fiery one of the queens. And as far as having courage and strength and faith and knowing that she is capable and very secure in who she is and that she can make things happen. And she's the one that you notice as soon as she walks into the room. It's almost like it's someone that's hard not to notice when she's there. When she's in reverse, she can be very insecure. She can be very jealous. She can be very not herself. Just totally not herself. And you could be feeling this way at times, possibly because of these choices or maybe even things of the past that have created some illusions for you now. Maybe even not knowing what to trust or who to trust. You need to stay on top of checking and clearing any kind of negative energies that you're carrying from the past once you've already acknowledged and learned the lesson that you were meant to learn. Once you have that self-awareness of the act that transpired, the lesson that you learned, it's time to move on from that and detach and transition. It's very important that you allow yourself that opportunity. And y'all are ready for that. There's no need for y'all to keep holding on to anything here that you're holding on to. You have the number 7. There's no more lessons there. For some of you, I still feel like that. Some of you may feel like there's more lessons that are there to learn, or that you will learn a repeating lesson in some kind of way. And they're wanting to say there's no more lessons there. If anything, there's new ones that you're needing to learn, and it's like it's time to move forward. You need to level up. You've evolved here. You're not needed here anymore. You know, you need to. They're saying, come on. You need to get past this. You're ready for more. You just have to step into that faith, right? Disguised solution when number 7, which is about being in alignment here, and that is the number 27. So I was kind of laughing about that. It says the solution is disguised as a problem. What you'd perceive as a problem is pushing you towards a more favorable solution. Y'all are discovering something really big about yourself here, and I think it has a lot to do with what I was talking about you needing to come on. You've learned that lesson now. Let's do this. One more. It's the Inner Child Oracles. I also want to leave y'all with one of these as far as just being able to understand something here, maybe in a lesson and everything that you've learned up until this point, that you need to acknowledge or focus on something that's valuable or important. You need to maybe even remind yourself here. The reason I'm saying this is because of this card of protection. Because everything to me is balance. This whole entire world will work harmoniously if there is a sense of balance in everything. And when it comes to protection, if you are overly protective of yourself, you don't allow others in. You don't allow opportunities and new experiences. If you are less protective, then maybe you allow too much. And I think y'all are just understanding where your protection lies when it comes to yourself and wanting to open up more. And I think that's what they're saying. Okay, you're ready for it now. You get it. Let's go. And you have the eagle, which is, it says practice freedom here. So the number 26, did we have 26? We have 25. We have 27. We do now. So there you go. That's a progressive numbers that we see there. This says release the weight of judgment. Oh, definitely. It's funny. I think most people, even the ones that you look at and you go, man, they're so mean. I always say in my head, that old man that you see, I don't know why, but there's this guy in town that's just, when I was young, I remember seeing him and he was just so grouchy all the time. And I thought, what's happened to him, to make him like that? And then as I got older, I thought, who knows what's happened to him, but I do know that he definitely didn't heal from it. And it could be weight of judgment for you guys. Resenting a choice that you made at some point in your past, or that weight of feeling wrong, feeling like you've done wrong, or feeling like something happened in a way that you didn't want it to, or even if this is you judging someone else, it's releasing yourself from that as well. When we put judgment on other people, that also puts weight on us as well. We also carry that same burden. Because guess what that feeling does to us? It hurts us. And I'm definitely not sitting here saying that you're not validated in that. You definitely are. But at some point, like I said before, you have to know that you learn the lesson that you needed to in that, in order to release that burden and allow yourself what? This freedom. Practice freeing yourself from whatever judgment that you're carrying. Together, this is the number 8, which is about taking action. And I think they're wanting you to take action. Practice breaking yourself free from holding that judgment over yourself or someone else. And see how it feels. See what the view looks like from up there. Let me know. I'm curious. Okay. So, postcard from Spirit. And then I'm going to get y'all some initials and then we'll close up. One card, please, Spirit. Just one. One card. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Love your dreams. Okay, here we go. Can already tell this is going to be a good one. Dear wonderful you. Oh, here we go. Intimacy is scary sometimes. It means that you have to let someone else get to know the real you, not the perfect, flawless mask that you wear for others. No. It's time to reveal the cool one, the passionate one, the imperfect one that is totally you without artificial walls. Yes, you will be exposed and vulnerable for a time, but it will be so worth it. This is the only way that you will know true closeness with others, and you will also be close to Spirit and to us. Now, before I say this next line, I want to say, this is what I was talking about with this sacred sexuality and that image thing. Sometimes when we have a hard time with being emotionally vulnerable, we tend to focus more on our image because that is where we feel safe. And for some of you, that could be your struggle here with that protection and opening yourself up more. Now, wait till you hear what this says. There is amazing freedom that comes from when you let go and just be yourself with another or a group. Now remember, practice freedom, okay? Release from the visible bindings that keep you from intimacy. It's truly empowering. So may we support you wholeheartedly in your choice, which you have right here. You will know yourself better, and we hope learn to love yourself as much as we do. Life is about who you are or who we are with others, so share it. You'll be so glad that you did. Loving you so, so much. Some of y'all need to step outside of your comfort zone, and there's a whole magical person inside of you that you have been denying us of. And how dare you? Open yourself up. We're all like so unique and different and wonderful, and I feel like the devil's just kind of keeps us from being able to experience each other in that way. Now, that's not to say there's not some people out there that we all need protection from. But again, I do feel and am a believer of balance. So I'm going to leave that there. Okay, so we do have the rabbit, which is so crazy. Because I did tell the story of the rabbit. And you have that 7 of Wands. So I would recommend, if you don't know a lot about tarot, maybe looking up the 7 of Wands. It is a card of the need to defend yourself. But it has lots and lots of different meanings. But it is one of knowing what you want, what you desire, and defending that. And that rabbit is a sign of abundance, and is, in my story, a sign of taking responsibility and doing your duty, or feeling that place of, you need to be vulnerable, just like that mother has to be vulnerable in order to provide for her children. It's about multiplying here as well. And the more you defend who you are, the more you respect or make others respect who you are, the more you want to defend yourself. Because the more and more you start to love who you are, it's a feeling like nothing else. It's just where you can step into taking that risk and taking that leap just because if it's not what it happens the way it's supposed to happen, then it's just not what's meant for you. And having that knowing is so much power in your life. Anyway, a little rant. You have a U, a Z, another Z, another U, an N, another N, an A, and an E. Don't know how much or what you can even spell with this, but I want to say unite for some reason. And Naz. I don't know why. I just cannot picture in my head anything else that's coming out of that. So Nana, I want to say, but that's because, their boy's Nana just left, so maybe that's why. Undo is something that comes to mind. It's never too late is something that's there. And now I just heard abound. So I don't know what that means. Like maybe setting a bound, or here we go, or something like that is coming to mind. Okay, guys. I'm going to hold this up. I am going to leave that 7 of Wands there with that rabbit on it so y'all can see it. Such pretty cards. So thanks so much for being here. Thanks for all y'all's love. And thank you so much for all of the support as I recover and get through all this. I know I'm a very private person. Hey, but guess what? You know what? I actually almost, I opened up a membership as I was gone. So if you're interested in that, information for it's down below. But I'm going to put some videos on there that I have not released, or that are older videos that I actually took off of YouTube for whatever reason. I'm also going to start doing readings where you can see me one-on-one, because I know not everybody loves those readings. And so I'm going to start doing a few of those on there as well. So information for that is down below. And if you don't mind giving me a thumbs up, I appreciate you guys so very much. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope it helps. Sending you love and light, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. Hey, pile 2. So if you chose, which is the beautiful Earth Woman's Tarot that I have to unfortunately cover the back of the cards. So I'm going to have to shuffle this kind of off camera a little bit because if I'll get in trouble otherwise. And I'm sorry I can't show y'all this deck. It is so unfortunate because it's such a nice, beautiful deck. But you will see the actual cards themselves. Just the back of the cards, that's the issue. So we'll keep those to the side. So I'm actually, before we do start the tarot, I'm going to pick a few of these. We're just going to take a good overall look, pile 2, and see what is it that you need to know. What do you need to know right now? I'm hoping this will be a Sunday reading if I can get through this in the time. And I do take reversals with this as well. This is called the Traveler's Tarot. It's a brand new oracle deck. And we're just going to take a few of them, and we're going to be able to kind of look at this and say, okay, this is what pile 2 needs to know at this time. And then we're going to get the tarot itself, and then we'll get any oracle cards that may come along the way. And I'm going to reach down here and turn my heating pad back on because I love it to death. I didn't realize how much I love these things, but I sure do. I have been gone for a little bit. I had to have a little surgery done, and this heating pad feels so good sitting down right here on my legs. It keeps my legs and my toes nice and warm. Okay, that maybe have something to do with your reading. It could be something like maybe you're at a place where you feel comfortable, or you're trying to make yourself feel more comfortable. Pile 2, what do we need to know here? What does pile 2 need to know at this time? We have freedom. Now, like I said, I do take reversals. I don't know why that is. I didn't plan on that until I got to the reading, actually. But we are going to take reversals here. Now, this says 1963, I have a dream speech. Well, Martin Luther King sitting right there on the edge. And this is wow. Wow. What a great card. Boy, he did do that, didn't he? Didn't he? He did do that. This is like full energy here. This is where you take that leap. The fool jumps off the cliff strictly on faith. And that's what he did. And he made such a big difference by doing that, taking that risk, taking that jump. I love this card. Now, I hate to mention this, but we did get it in reverse for you guys. So maybe they're wanting you to remember this, or this is something you need to think about or study. It says freedom, number 16. And, you know, it's funny. Sometimes we take a risk, we take a leap, not knowing what kind of difference we're going to make. But even if it's just a little bit of a difference, it's worth it, right? So this could be something that you're experiencing at this time. For some of you, this could actually have a meaning to it in some kind of way. This may be something that was tied to college for you in some way. I am getting that for someone. Maybe something that you mentioned here in your thesis, or is that what you call them? I don't know. I'm the wrong person to ask. I went to about 3 classes of college. I got up and I said, this is not for me. And I went and I signed out of most of them. Ended up working for a family, but I'm here now and I love what I do. Don't do that though. If you're in college, stick it out. It's worth it. But you do have 16 here. Some of you may be making that decision whether or not you want some sense of freedom. 16 is the Tower in tarot, so it does talk about there being a tower that crumbles, that falls, and sometimes that's difficult, hard. But it's also something that falls because it needs to be rebuilt, which again, Martin Luther King, right? Wow. I am loving what's coming off of this card right here. Okay. Okay, so this may be where you're sitting at, where you're trying to make a decision. You're in a place of saying, okay, I could have freedom here. I could take this risk. I could take this leap in order to gain or to have some sort of freedom and to break myself free from this urge or this feeling that I have. I need to be smart about this. This is a smart decision to, sometimes, you know, it's like, it is a smart decision to take that leap. Even if it doesn't work out exactly like you want, like I said before. So you may be in that place. Which is kind of strange. It's kind of in a way similar to pile 1, but not exactly. But it is about decisions and taking a risk. Patience. Well, we're getting all the good people here, guys. This is pretty cool. I know all these decks have people in them, so that's awesome. Okay, so I looked this up as a Bodhi tree. I apologize, guys. You know, bless my mother's heart. She didn't want to put me in any kind of extra help that I probably needed because I was horribly dyslexic and it followed me into my adulthood, which I'm working on, by the way. I do tend to try to read a lot of books, which helps. By the way, if you are dyslexic, depending on what area, because there's lots of different types, what helps me is reading. And I'm a very slow reader. It takes me a very long time to get through a book. And also I have 3 kids. That doesn't help. But that does tend to help me somewhat. So I don't know, throwing that out there. But it also, guess what? You also have to have patience. And that's what this card talks about. It says 28 patience here. So you go from this Martin Luther King here, taking this big risk, trying to make this huge difference here in the world. Even if it's just to start that milestone to get to the place that we need to get to, you know, of understanding and peace and harmony and smartness. I wanted to say, you know, more intelligent, more aware, more capable. All the things, all the other things that get in the way of that. Patience. Patience is such a big part of all of that. Having patience is such a big part of all of that. Having to reassure yourself is something that's here as well. And timing, you know, making sure, understanding or knowing. Just, have you ever had that inner knowing that the timing was right? Like you just knew it. You just don't know why, but you're just like, I just know you need to do this, you know. I just had a talk with a friend about this the other day. And we talked about the mother's intuition, you know, is what they used to call it. You know, I feel like everybody has that. And because we all have that feminine energies, like that's just intuition, like you know when the timing will be right. So some of you may be in this place where you already know you're going to take this risk, but you're waiting for that timing of stability. This has something to do with your stability, and you have another tree here. Now, how do you say that one? Is it Bababa tree? Baba tree. Right? Sorry, guys. I'm working on it. This is from Africa here. And the stability, you know, this... look at this tribe that's here. Isn't that awesome? Isn't it awesome that there are people in this world that still live exactly like we were, you know, in all honesty, meant to live? It's so organic and so right. It just feels so right, so natural. There's something about you feeling like a natural pull or instinct towards something. But you may either be unsure about the stability there, or you may just be in a place to where you still don't feel exactly safe fully, that is the place that you need to, that you'll be stable there for long. It's almost like, I want the stability, but I'm still a little bit unsure of whether or not it's going to maintain itself for as long as I need it. For some of you, this might have to do with financially. For some of you, this has to do with time. For some of you, this may have to do with the home or location. You may be worried about the longevity of the stability that's there. And so you're having to have patience here before you just take that leap, make that decision. And for some of you, this may affect others in some way, or there's worry or fear of that. Maybe how others will respond or be affected by. Okay. Bottom of the deck. In reverse. Activation. Because you haven't done it yet. Planning's right after that. Which is so great. And look at that. That's going to bring tears to my eyes almost, guys. It says humans discovering fire in Africa. And you have your tribe there. You have this lightning bolt that's here that's hitting the tree. You know, and that's one of the risks there, you know, that could happen. But you still need that shelter. You still need that stability regardless. It could be experience that you need. There's a daring energy that I'm feeling here too. Like this is something, man, something big. I feel like that feeling of like when you say, boy, this is something mom's not going to like. She's not going to like that I'm doing this. You know, when you're younger, or maybe college, you know, making some kind of decision there, maybe going against the grain there in some cases for some of you. I feel like you may feel like there's a better route of whatever this is. And you're looking at trying to figure out which direction to take when it comes to that. But there's something here that has got you fired up. And you're also like really wanting somebody to understand this about you. Like you really want this person. I think this is somebody in particular for some of you. But you just really want, and you feel, maybe even feel more understood here in some way. And you want everybody else just to accept that or understand that themselves. That's so interesting. But you're making this plan. This alpaca may be important here for somebody too. I don't know why. You have Peru here. Oh, shout out to my friend. You know who you are. And boy, I need to email you. I hadn't heard from you in a while. I'd like to see what's going on with you. But Peru brought you to mind. You know who you are. But we have 30. Oh, here you have 2, which is about making decisions. And here you have the number 30. And expansion is there as well, the number 11. So it's like you know this is something that you're planning, or you've been planning, or you really want, or you really desire. It's just like an alpaca. You don't know. Isn't it alpacas that can spit? It's like you don't know. You don't know who's going to not like what you're doing. You know, you don't know who's going to spit on it, what your plan is. And that would be a reason why you're sitting here, you know, not like pulling that, going in that direction, like taking off in the place that you want to go towards there. There's fear here. There's fear here. Why is there fear here? Let's get the tarot. Okay, like I said, I apologize that I have to do this off camera, okay? Please, by all means, I would love to show y'all this deck. I don't know if I can on the, I've made a membership, which is like super cheap. I think it's like $2.99 a month. I just wanted to have something to put extra videos out on there because I have a lot in my archives that I would like to release again. And then I'm going to try some other things over there so y'all can give me some feedback before I, you know, start to change things up. I have a new kind of computer setup, so I'm interested in using it. Man, there's something here, guys, that y'all are like, it's got you fired up. Like you're ready to take off, or you feel like you're really good at it. Have you ever found that thing in life, and this may be what you're feeling, where you're like, man, I am good at this. Like, I can do this. I feel really good about this. Even to the point to where other people may say something negative about it, but you're going to do it anyways because you just know you just feel really good about it. You're there, but I think that you're just trying to be patient with yourself as far as being smart and taking time to plan. You want to be ready for something or someone's either opinion or how something is going to go or play out. You want to be patient because you want to feel this security, stability. Tell me about this. Tell me about this. What does pile 2 need to know about this? The moon. Pisces, Cancer energy. The 7 of Wands in reverse. A little, or maybe a little, just a little bit of over defensiveness. Like you may be gearing up for something that's maybe not as bad as what you think it's going to be. And I would say that may be something that is your fear or your worry, is that you're going to have to defend yourself so much so over what this is, when you may not have to defend yourself as much as what you think here. So you could be like working yourself up for something that may never happen, and you may be putting too much energy into that. That's why this patience is here. There's something here that could be unfolding that you may not be aware of, that may be helping your situation and making this decision more fearless. I'll say that. You have a Knight of Swords. That's always good to see, the Knight of Swords, when he's kind of geared up and ready for action there. You have a 4 of Pentacles. So definitely this energy of protecting and wanting that sense of security and stability. Also, for some of you financially, this could be like, can I do this on my own if, you know, this doesn't go the way that I have planned? This would look like asking for, I don't know, a couple of more months to, let's just say you're going to move out of your house, right, and you're paying rent, and it's to ask for a few months free just so you get your deposit in the other place and moved in the other place, or something like that. I don't know why I'm going off into that, but maybe that's the case for some of you. I don't know. You also have the Magician in reverse, not knowing how to manifest this. You can't see the plan just quite clearly yet. So you're in this place, okay, I need to, and you may be accumulating what you need at this time, but you don't know how you're going to actually take off. My son's in there laughing. He's having a good old time. Let's get some clarifiers real quick. Why is the moon here? Pisces, Cancer. I'm pretty sure I said that. Ooh, you got that Queen of Wands out. She's been showing up a lot. So you could be dealing with the Sagittarius, or it could be you could be a Sagittarius, or pulling in that fire and out that fire energy in you. Male or female, doesn't matter. It's about like what you want to nurture within yourself and making that happen for yourself, feeling confident. It's also Aries and Leo energy as well. You feel confident in facing your fear. You feel confident here, or you're trying to gain that confidence in facing this fear, or facing the things that you do not know or you cannot see. Which is, we all do that all the time in life. It's very difficult, isn't it? Seems like it never gets any easier. And the bigger the things are, the harder it gets, right? You have a Knight of Wands here with this 7 of Wands in the reverse. Isn't this deck awesome? Isn't it a shame we can't see the back of it? I keep putting it down here and looking and thinking, oh gosh, did I show it? I don't want to get in trouble, guys. The Knight of Wands is here, and that 7 of Wands is in reverse. You know, the Knight of Wands doesn't need to defend himself. The Knight of Wands, look at that. She has that one wand in her hand and her horse, and she's completely even bareback there, and she's holding on, and he's raising up, and it's like she is so confident in herself, especially next to that Queen of Wands that's there, that you may be dealing with someone here that is older than you, or maybe somebody that may be a little bit unpredictable for some of you when it comes to this. But this is about being geared up and ready to take on, to defend yourself, right? I want to say hold back on that a little bit. I think you're, I know I said it before and I repeat myself a lot in these readings, but I have to kind of continue more and more of the thought of what they're trying to express that's important. And I think this is really important. And here's my kids. So sorry. That happens. Kind of like the Knight of Wands. You can't really stop them, you know. And I think that's what I was trying to get at, was like, there is this really big need for you to kind of take maybe a little bit of a step back here. You maybe just, there's somewhat being over defensive here. You know, like when you're over defensive about something and then you realize that you're being that way in the moment. And it makes you feel a little bit humiliated, and so you try to take a step away from it, but that makes you even feel more hurt or more defended. I hope that y'all understand what I'm trying to say with that. But I am feeling a little bit of that there, or a possibility of that, if you don't kind of like pull back the reins here just a little bit. It's almost like having a more of a feeling of owning it and not feeling the need to defend yourself so much, so or more of a place of knowing what you're going to do, right? Knight of Swords. The Sun in reverse. Okay. You don't know what's going to happen going into this. You have the Moon and the Sun here, so which is divine feminine masculine energy, which tells me if that's that energy inside of you, you're about to make a big move for yourself. And I can tell you at this moment you are in a more of an emotional state about the situation and how it's going to unfold, which is kind of similar overall collective message that's coming through. This is Leo energy here in reverse. This is the happiest card in the deck that you got sitting in the middle of your spread here in reverse, and it has to do with these actions that are being taken here. And you know, some of you may have been sitting in this energy of patience for too long. Kind of like I said in the beginning of my reading, I think it was with you guys when I talked about my heating pad on my legs and how comfortable that was. That might be something that's here. If not, that might still be relevant. But it's like you've been in this place where you've just been sitting here trying to give yourself patience in this situation because you want to have the best plan. But I think the question here is, why is that? Is that you want to have the best plan going into this because you're afraid of the outcome or not receiving what it is that you want here? You're afraid of having to defend yourself. You're kind of going in this a little gung-ho here, knowing that you're going to have to, this is going to be a battle. You may meet someone that's more relaxed than you feel or you think, or maybe you're just looking at them as having too much power over the situation. But I feel like either way, it's like you don't want to be hasty here either and make the wrong choice, or you don't want to disappoint somebody. That's something that's there. That's a little bit of a deeper feeling that's there, actually. The Two of Wands. It's about making a choice. You don't want to disappoint someone here by making a certain choice. For some of you, this has to do with moving, traveling, going in a completely different direction. The Two of Wands is like, okay, you know, Dorothy, like following the yellow brick road and then getting to the darker place and saying, which one would you rather go down? It's, you know, an unfamiliar territory here. I think that's bringing more of this fear of disappointment that's here. I do feel like for some of you, this is coming from a loving place. I feel like for some of you, you may be afraid of disappointing someone that you do love and care about, but at the same time, you feel the need to protect or guard yourself or defend your truth or your desire. Why is the Four of Pentacles here? The Two of Swords. Decisions. It's a hard decision to make. The Two of Swords, do you know why it's such a hard decision for her to make that? First off, She's away from this island that's here. She has 2 swords in her hand and a blindfold on. Now, let's just say she's just sitting here on this island and she knows that she needs to go to a new island, but she cannot see which direction that is. This is literally either going to go with one way or another. And you cannot see which direction that is if you're choosing the right or the wrong thing. This is when we come to those crossroads where, man, this is going to be a difficult decision because, A, I have to be smart about this. This is going to change some things for me. This may even hurt some people. You know, swords can do a lot of things. But this can also cut through a lot of things that are keeping me from being able to experience life in the way that I want and desire as well. Or the opportunity that's in front of me. So it's difficult. It's a difficult decision. And you're wanting to protect your right to have this decision. But you're also wanting to protect your own energy here with being comfortable in this place of making this decision, right? You know, like when people say, well, we're still making the decision. We haven't made up our minds yet. And it's like, well, man, dadgum, like, how long is it going to take? You've been thinking about this for years. You know, at some point, it's like, okay, well, maybe it's that time to make a decision. Yeah. I just saw the Empress in reverse. This could have to do with the mother or mother figure for some of you, like a distorted way of that. Or it could just be a distorted way of thinking of what something can grow into. Or this could, you know, you be kind of just sabotaging yourself into thinking that something's just, it's just not going to work out. You know, like sometimes decisions are so hard that we're just like, you know what, I'm just comfortable where I am with these 4 pentacles. I know I will have to go through some stuff through the 5 before I get to the transition, before I can actually start to grow things and develop things. And, you know, I'm pretty comfortable right here where these 4 pentacles are. I'm not completely in the city, but I have my gold and I have my crystals here, and I feel pretty good right here. And, you know, the thing is with that, without making that decision, this is where you'll always be, right? And I think there's just so much more to experience that's here, and you know that because the Magician is sitting there in reverse. Because you don't feel like that you have... There's the Fool. I love it. Oh, I love it so much, guys. We started here with the Fool, with the Luther King sitting there with I Have a Dream speech. And then here you have the Fool energy, which is Aries and Aquarius for me as well. Right here at the end. And guess what? You have good old Temperance there on the bottom with Sagittarius. Now this Sagittarius energy is all about that fire versus what you really want. Fire, this drive, this desire, this fantasy, this star, this dream, versus what can I make a reality from this? And finding that perfect balance, and then all the other things that have to be a part of that is what you're experiencing here. Definitely making some big decisions, thinking about all the variables when it comes to that. But I think that you may be thinking about others more so than you are thinking about your actual desire itself. And I think that you need to give yourself a little bit of patience there when it comes to that, because that is coming from a loving place. But it's also, you know, it's also coming from a place of loving yourself as well, because you're wanting to do something for yourself that you feel like is something that you're made or meant to do. And you're ready to activate that, right? With that activation, which is also the number 2, which is about that decision. Now, this is the best part. You know in your heart you're going to take this leap one way or another. You're just working through the plan on how to get there. And you're trying to give yourself patience. You don't want to make a rash decision. You know you need to make sure you have at least some sort of plan. And despite that there may be some disappointments, you know and realize that You can only defend yourself so much before you realize this is still what I want to do regardless. And I know this is right for me. And then working your way towards feeling stable and feeling safe in it. And feeling that balance and peace. Ultimately, your search is peace and taking that leap. Right. Okay. We're going to get a few cards for advice, and then I'm going to get an inner child card to see what you've learned through this process. And then we're going to get a postcard from Spirit because they're awesome. And then we're going to get some initials to close, okay? And I did have to stop the video, of course, because my 7-year-old is home, and I always do when he's home. Okay, here we go, guys. What advice do you have here for this, for pile 2? Partnerships. You know, when this came out, I was sitting here looking at this Queen of Wands, and I was thinking, for some of you, and this may be a partner in not just love related, this could be a partnership, like wanting someone to be a partner in something with you. So I want you to support me. I want you to encourage me. I want you to, you know, basically agree that this is something I need to do for myself, you know, or whatever this is. That's something that's here as well. But for some of you, this Queen of Wands has to do with a person that you may feel very attracted to, but you're wondering if that attraction, and this could also be a thing, you're wondering if that attraction is lust or love, basically. Even if this has to do with a desire that you want, like a career that you want or something like that. I think that you've already kind of worked yourself, or you're working yourself through that understanding. And you're kind of moving out of it at this point. I think you've kind of made peace with how you really feel about it. Now it says, allow supportive partnerships into your life and you will attract mutually loving relationships that will fulfill both of your needs. For some of you, think about who you surround yourself with. If you, let's just say you have a dream of... Okay, guys, don't judge me, but I just heard in my head running a hot dog stand. Okay, so and that could be a dream that you have. If it is, let me know, because my son, he just loves for me to make those for him. Anyways, so you have this big, huge dream to do this, and you feel like there's a certain way you want to do it that you make them that is like the best thing ever in the world, right? And you have people around you that feel like that's the dumbest thing they've ever heard of. It's never going to work. It's not going to be that great. You're not going to do that well, you know, all this stuff. And you're like, well, I mean, if I'm ever going to do it in my life, this is the time I want to do it. Especially if, you know, it's a popular thing, or you don't have as many responsibilities at that time, or I don't know the circumstances, but then you have other people around you that are telling you, oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I mean, I feel like if that's what you want to do and that's what's calling you to do that in your heart, I think you should go for it. You know, sit with yourself, you know, here under this bowhigh tree, bowhill tree. I'm sorry, guys, it's horrible, but sit underneath a tree and connect with nature and have patience with yourself and listen to your guidance and what you feel like if you want to do. And if that's it, you go for it. You go do that thing. You have one life to live. Why not? Go try it. You know, who all do you want to surround yourself with? I'm telling you right now, through my experience in life, if you surround yourself with anybody, don't make it all positive, but don't make it all negative. Find those people that are close to you, that have been in your life either for a long time and know you very well, even maybe more than you remember yourself as a kid, or those people that just know you and you can be authentic and true with, because they are going to tell you the truth regardless. They're not going to let you down. They're not going to boost you up. They're going to listen. They're going to talk to you, and they're going to give you honest, straightforward advice. And I think whoever that is for you guys, that's who you need to be talking to right now about this. Some of you may be going into or wanting to go into a partnership with someone as well. What advice? I just went way off into all that, didn't I? We have a disguise solution, which came out in one of the other piles. So number 7 here. Number 7 is about being in alignment. It's also a very divine number. It's a lucky number, I feel. It actually also is the 7th of the month today. I feel the need to point that out as well. You do have 24 here, so that's your 6. But this says the solution is disguised as a problem. So what you feel like is going to be a problem, this person, this thing, whatever this is, it may be a solution in that you don't even see. Didn't I say that before? Like there's something I feel like that's going on here in the background of this that is coming from an unexpected place, but is also giving you that thought, idea, clarity, solution that you need, but you may not even know or that it's happening or that it's even going on. It says what you perceive as a problem is pushing you towards a more favorable solution. Okay. I just heard you worry too much in my head. Building dreams. That's awesome. There's always that one voice, as far as me and what I call, like my spirit guides, whatever. Everybody believes in something different, of course, but I always have this like smart, alecky kind of voice in my head that like, well, you could just shorten that up into, just quit worrying about it. And I always thought, I hate it when people tell me that because, I've always had horrible anxiety and attacks and everything and struggled with that. And people that don't know what that feels like, they will literally look at you and say, well, just don't worry about it. And it's like, oh, okay, I'll just stop then. That's great advice. I don't know why I haven't thought about that before. So that might be something that's here. But this says number 4, which is about the stability, okay? The foundation that you build today is part of a bigger picture. Keep believing and stay positive. Big things are leading your way. You have celebrate success, which of course I'm going to read. It says, be proud of what you have achieved. Your struggles are long and hard. You struggled long and hard to get to this moment. And the number 50. And 5 is that number of change. So definitely some changes are ahead. But changes don't happen without action. So make that activation. Set that plan and go for it. Okay, well, let's get the inner child to see what you're struggling here with. For some of you, I am feeling there's a hint of a mother, a little bit of a distorted motherly-like energy. Something to do with, sometimes we reflect, as a mother, we reflect what we wanted for ourselves or what we wish we would have had onto our kids in some way. Something like that could be something that's here. You could be doing that, or someone around you could be doing this. Despite that, what is the inner child message that pile 2 needs? Okay, y'all got 2 cards. I love it. You're going to love the first one. It says, number 29, run wild. Let your inner child, let your inner wild child run forth. I don't think there's a whole lot to say about that. That about sums it up, and I was just talking about a child. Number 13, oh, that could be something now I say. I'm not going to say something about that. Of course I'm going to talk. There may be something to do here with someone not allowing you to be or do what it is that you really want to be or do. Someone wanting you more to do what they're wanting you to do instead of what you really want. Something like that is there. And this run wild, let your inner child run forth is also 29 is number 11, which is about being on the right path. And again, knowing that within yourself. Nobody else can tell you what your inner compass is. Whether you're leading yourself towards a lesson, big or small, or you're leading yourself towards the best place, rainbows and butterflies, both of them are right. Because either you need to learn that lesson to get to the rainbows and butterflies, or you've earned the rainbows and butterflies and you've already learned the lesson. But that's up to you, but this this right here is maybe somebody has held you back from being able to be yourself or learn your own lessons even. Number 13, find your haven. There is a place of wonder waiting just for you. Look at that. Right there. It's not the easiest route. It's definitely not the easiest route to go through that darkness. There could be, I think I've said this before, there could be spiders in there, and I know some of us are afraid of those. There could be all kinds of things going on inside there that you can't see. But what you can see is there's a castle that's right there on the other side of that. So it's like, I know that this is the only way to do this, and I've got to go through this to get to that. Find your haven. There's a place of wonder just for you. Yeah, and this hole is just for you. And you have these holes here, by the way, in the stability. This whole energy here of just for you or being just for you, it's almost a feeling of knowing when something's meant for you and wanting to go after that, but something keeping you restricted in some way. And it may be your own thoughts. Not as much as it is others. But there's this like not wanting to hurt or wanting to protect others that's here. It's like what I said, it's coming from a good place or a loving place. Oh, okay. These 3 cards just fell out, guys. These are long. I would not dare y'all sit here and read these. So I'm going to ask again. Okay. And that card popped right out. So I guess we're going to sum it up into this one here. It says, you are a divine beauty. Okay. Dear you, the simple yet powerful law of cause and effect means that everything is in relationship. Every action on earth has a consequence. And even in the spirit world, there is consequences for every action taken on your behalf. Right now, you're facing conditions that were set into motion by past decisions. Consequences are coming into being in your favor. They will remind you that making good choices and listening to your intuition pays off. And if some things are a little off and uncertain, know that whatever you're facing, you can step beyond it and just be using your imagination and acting on that instead of reacting to what is being presented. Everything you think and do have far-reaching reverberations in the web of life. Move to a higher ground, just like that fool. And have faith, just like that fool, that what goes around comes around. The universe is always self-correcting anyway. Isn't that amazing? How we adore you. Awesome, guys. Okay, so let's get some initials here, and we will close. I love it. I love it. I love that we started off there with freedom. And, I have a dream speech there from Martin Luther King. And then we have this here, this full energy that's at the end of it, It's like you're trying to get from here to here. You have the half broken. There is something here about breaking someone's heart or being heartbroken or something to do with healing that's here. You know how sometimes in life, when we're pushed to make certain decisions, things come to the surface that have maybe needed to come to the surface for a long time. And we find that actually brings us closer to knowing ourselves, to knowing someone else. Makes us even, cherish, or the bond that you're creating is even more so. There may be some things here in this decision that you're making that need to be brought to the surface. And by you making this decision for yourself is going to help that happen. And I feel like I just have this feeling like it's needed and it's going to work out even better than you could have ever imagined. It may not be immediate, but it will. And that doesn't mean it's going to be like years either. It just means sometimes people, take longer to understand things than others. And I think for some of you, this may be an understanding that you're having with someone that will bring peace and stability, but it just may take a little longer for some of you than others. That's all. So we have B, H, U, S, bus is here. Bush is here as well. I want to say hush, but it's not here. We have Y, U, Y, U, Y, U. Okay. Whatever that means. We do have nothing that I can see actually. I keep wanting to say key, but we don't have the E that's here. Or hey. Shy. Maybe you're just kind of you shy. Maybe you're just kind of shy here in some way. You have to step outside of your comfort zone somewhat. I think I read once, didn't I read once that Martin Luther King was very shy? I'm not sure. But I think I remember reading that and it being hard for him. I remember reading it about somebody really powerful that had this. They were a public speaker and it was really hard for them to express themselves because they are so shy by nature, but you wouldn't be able to tell it by listening to them at all. I don't know why I'm bringing that up. Somebody's message that's there. Okay. I'm gonna leave you out here, right? Promise. Here we go. So thanks so much, guys, for being here. Thanks for all your love and support and kindness, of course. If you don't mind hitting that like button, if you enjoyed this reading, it really helps me out. I appreciate y'all, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. Hey, Pile 3. So if you chose the Artist Decoded Tarot, this is going to be your reading. Now, this is a huge piece of rose quartz that's in the shape of a giant palm stone heart here. Fits perfectly there. So this could have something to do with needing to heal. And I know, like, I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking, oh, man, do I have to listen to another reading about healing? I know that we've, especially us as tarot readers, really emphasis on that. But tarot is actually made for healing. Or at least as far as where I see tarot and how I use tarot is for self-awareness and healing. And if you do the research on that as well, it can lead you in that way. Of course, we all have our own belief about it. But I do feel like that at times it can feel a little bit overwhelming when we feel like there's just like this endless healing journey that we have to be on. But this could have something to do with you healing through something. And I think the great thing about it is when we're healing through something, it usually means that something good is on the other side of that. And so I'm hoping that that's what your reading is going to pertain to. So in order to figure this out, we're going to start with some new oracles that I just got. And they are called Time Travelers Oracles, and they are awesome. So we're going to pull about 3 of these and then the bottom of the deck energy as well. We'll see what it is you need to know. This is going to be just an open reading. I do take reversals in this deck, so if it comes out reverse, I'll know why. And we're just going to see what is it that you're needing to know at this time. Okay, Pile 3. What does Pile 3 need to know at this time? First card, Patience. One of the other piles got this card of Patience here. So real quick, before we get completely into that, I'm going to move my chair around. I do have special equipment back here. Special pillow that I have to kind of use behind me to help prop me up, right? Since I did just have a surgery and I have a spot in my back, in the middle of my back, that's still just quite a bit sore, so I apologize. So with this Patience card, now I want to hold this up because these are, it's funny too, I just asked y'all to have patience with me as I got comfortable. So sometimes we have to do that in life, don't we? Sometimes we have to yeah, you know, sometimes we have to have patience, maybe even with ourselves, in order to be comfortable. Because then if I sat here with you guys and fought through the pain, I wouldn't be giving y'all my best. I wouldn't be able to give y'all what I really want to give you guys. Maybe this is something that you're struggling with, you know, this understanding of that. This is the number 28. So that may or may not be relevant here for someone. 82 could be relevant, maybe a year you were born. But together you do have 10. So that is about completing a cycle. But you can't have one without the other. You have to make that decision and you have to take that action in order to complete that cycle. And body tree, by the way, I think is how you say this, but it says under the body tree. And I butchered this in the other pile as well, so I apologize for that. But this is from northern India, it says. Something else about this is I think there is some advice coming through of sitting with your own thoughts. Now, sometimes that's a hard thing to do, right? Because sometimes we don't only hear our own thoughts, we hear everybody else's opinion as well that's in our head. So there's something here to do with sitting with your own thoughts. There's certain frequencies that you can find here on YouTube. Tons of videos of different ways of, you know, of sound, of vibration that can help you to clear out the clutter, to clear out the chaos, so that you can kind of center yourself and focus on your own thoughts, your own voice, and whose voice that is, what that voice is about. There's a book about this, I wish I could remember, but it talks about the voice in your head and who that is, and how that can be, there's a good side and a not so great side to that voice. It's very interesting book. But if I can think of it, don't forget, I'll put it down below. I did not finish it, just so you're aware. But the first few chapters were amazing. I'm horrible about not finishing things. And, you know, and that could be part of this as well. Maybe you're having to have patience with yourself here because you're having a hard time finishing something that you started. Completing something that you started here. Needing to focus in on and have patience with yourself when it comes to that. Leadership. Great card here, guys. Number 22, actually. So you have 28 and 22 here. 222 maybe is a number that you've been seeing. It is definitely a number of balance and decisions and finding your peace, you know. You have these 3 pyramids here that are representing that beacon, you know, with this leadership here, like you are your own beacon in a way. It's almost like there's a lot of things that are behind you already. Like you've already experienced some sort of, I don't know, some sort of way of life, way of living. This is big. This is like a different type of value or moral or belief system or direction. This is like something really big for you. And you're having to take this leadership role and follow this direction towards something that you may have to be a little bit flexible with, but it is definitely something that is more stable. This is like knowing when there's something that's there that's good for you, that's meant for you, more that's good for you. I think it has to do with something there that's good for you, that you are trying to be a leader in and trying to guide yourself in that direction. But there's this part where you're needing to be patient here because there is some kind of a flexibility that goes on with this. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to have to move my chair again. I'm going to have to move it again. Promise you guys this will be the last time. I have these really weird, like, chairs that, I don't know, it's like 5 different pieces that go together. And my son just brought me this one, which is not the one I asked for. So I'm trying to make it work. It's not working. Okay, maybe that's what's going on here too. Maybe you're trying to get something to work, it's just not working. And you're realizing that you're going to have to be a little bit flexible here, but you're going to have to take the lead role in this in order to make it happen, to make it work. What else is here for pile 3? Now, I said I was going to take reversals. We have trust in reverse. Isn't that interesting? So this is the number 41. 41 could be relevant here, and maybe this is like a goal that you've set for yourself. I don't know why I'm hearing somebody say like, yeah, by the time I'm 41, I'm going to have this, this, and this, or something about that. It could be a day that you're, looking at, maybe April the 1st, or that's important, or something like that. Anyway, this card of trust, it's in trusting, and you notice they're all in this boat. It's not just one of them. They have to trust each other, that each other is doing what they need to do in order to get through this, these rapids. Now, being in reverse, this is telling me that you don't know if you have the right supportive group or people around you, or you're just having a hard time trusting the fact that this is the community, the person, place, or thing that you need to be around, that will be there with you, that can support, and that can do everything that they need to do in order to get everything to a calmer place. Like, you're not sure if you can trust this or not. And there could be an idea of, how much time do I want to spend here with something that I don't feel 100% confident in, or I don't feel like I can fully trust that we're going to get to this calmer place here, or that everybody's going to do what they need to be doing. This is a team effort for us to get to here. Also, just overall in general, whether or not you can trust yourself. As far as having patience here in the situation, as far as being the leader, as far as trying to guide or steer that ship, Some of you, I feel like this is a lot bigger thing. I feel like for some of you, you may be taking some, like a community, you could be a teacher or a guide of some sort. Okay, we're fixing to get a little weird. So if you feel like that you are somewhat of a light worker, or you feel as if, what do I mean by that? Because I think some people, it's different for everybody, I guess, right? I mean by that, my comprehension of that is that if you feel like that you've gone through some heavy lessons in your life that are these huge aha moments where you have given yourself a tremendous amount of grace, and you have found peace in your heart with things that are challenging, and you've confronted that dead on, and you've faced that reality, you faced that judgment, you made it through the other side, and you've learned that lesson, and it's something that you're so dear to you in your heart that you've learned, that you want to express that to others, because you know that if they knew that lesson, or could even be helped, guided through that lesson, and they felt like you did about it, and gave themselves that grace that you've given yourself, how much more free they would feel. That's what my definition of it is. And I feel like for some of you, I'm talking to you guys that are going through an experience like this, and it's like you realize that in this way. You may be experiencing a lot of newer, or people around you or in your life that are newer soulmates, or soulmates from when you were young. Some people resurfacing here. I'm not talking about any of the negativity about it. I'm talking about, like, let's just say a really old friend or something like that. You have all these people that you're starting to connect with. There are people in our lives that are continuously going to teach us or help us or guide us with lessons, that know us very well and know who we once were versus who we are now, and how far we've came with ourselves and our own self-awareness, that will help you in your life and help guide you in your life. And you may be experiencing a leadership role when it comes to that at this time, around a community around you. And this could even be a career or a endeavor that you are moving towards. And that aside, if that's not your story, if you don't feel like that you are there or you believe in that, then that's not your part of that rating. So let's carry on. Let's see what the bottom of the deck energy is. Okay. Look at that. We have another ship. It's funny, you have a desert here and then two oceans here in reverse. Desert's upright. So it's almost like hold on. Something about getting to dry land. Needing to get to dry land. You may have been experiencing a lot of turmoil or a lot of healing-wise, maybe a tremendous amount of emotion. You may have been feeling like there's been a lot of things that have been coming up for you emotionally that's been very difficult. And you are knowing that you're needing to lead, even if this is you, if this is someone else, you know, it's like you know that you're needing to lead the others or lead someone else or lead yourself towards dry land. You know you need to have patience with yourself and take the leadership role here when it comes to that. But you have to be able to have the courage. And I think you're having to have the, look at that, love and breakthrough. I love to see that with transformation. That's so awesome. Y'all, when I talk about like things being awesome and stuff like that, sometimes it's not so much as the cards that y'all are seeing. It's the feeling that I feel that's so awesome when I see the cards. And it's just hard to explain. But you have this number 40 with transformation. We talked about 4 here. 41 right here. And then you have 5, and then you have 25. And this transformation that's here, it's about your stability and your security. And you're finding your way. You're having this breakthrough here when it comes to the idea of love and what that means to you. Possibly even the idea of unconditional love for yourself, or unconditional, seeing a glimpse of what unconditional love looks like, or having a breakthrough or idea about it. It's like there's been some sort of puzzle piece that has been planted in you that you feel like is something you've not ever experienced or seen or felt that kind of awareness before. And it's put this discovery inside of you. It's put this fire inside of you, or this drive inside of you of where you want to be a leader here and you want to move things or guide things in the right direction. Like there's belief that this is what you want. The only thing that's the part of this that you're lacking at this moment and that you're aware of is courage. And number 8 is about taking action. And you have courage here. Having courage to take the action, to do what you know you need to do, to step into that leadership role, which is very much Emperor energy, which is Aries energy, but it's about yourself. It's the first house. It's where you have to start. You start with yourself, you see? And then others follow. And then they'll find that dry land, just like you found that dry land, just like you found your peace. But you have to be able to have the courage to open up and to see what you're seeing to be the truth, or what you're seeing to be real in yourself. Believing in yourself. You have to believe in yourself that you can change, that you can make a difference. This is something that I've recently said here to somebody, and you know, it's something that I'm really passionate about. And I'm sure there's tons of ways to argue this and bring it on. You know, I like all kinds of points of view. It gets me to think in different ways. But I've always felt like, as far as love goes, is love the way that you love somebody, with love languages and everything else we discuss and talk about, the way that you love somebody. You know how there's some people that feel like that they're just that way, that's just who they are, and they're not very vulnerable, they're not very emotional, they're not very open? Or is that person's trauma that has affected them in a way to where that's made them who they are? And where is the fine line there between character and what has been attached to you, you know, as a reality of what love is, instead of what you really want love to be? What's that gray area there? And the more healing that you do, the more understanding that you have, especially when it comes to people around you that can help guide you through this, the more understanding you have of what love really is, the more open you can be. But it takes courage. You have to have courage. Because love is vulnerability, and vulnerability is love. No matter what it is. Person, place, thing, doesn't matter. Whatever it is in this world. Whatever it is in this world. Love is vulnerable. I could fall in love with a piece of grass outside, and if something happened to it, I'm in a vulnerable state because I'm going to be sad. You know what I mean? Love is vulnerability. There's no way around it. You just have to have the courage to believe in yourself and know that you're capable of getting yourself to that dry land. You know, if something does go wrong, if it is hard or emotional, or even if you're going through some sort of healing experience. Some of you, I feel like maybe you've just had some sort of, oh God. I feel like for some of you, you may have had some sort of a reality of some traumatic event that has only recently became to your full awareness. If that's your story, you'll know who I'm talking about. And you're trying to fully grasp the concept and idea of the lack of control and vulnerability that you were in at that particular time, and not allowing that sense of vulnerability, get confused with being vulnerable when it comes to someone that does love, nurture, and care about you. Because that's a very fine line, and there is some trauma there that I'm feeling. I'm going to pull a card for you guys for that, if that's your story. Real quick, okay? If it's not, zoom on past. I feel like somebody needs something there. What is that about? What is that about? Oh, that's a lot. It's 3 cards. It's okay. It's not that many. Let's see. Spend time in nature. Let the beauty of nature refresh your soul. Number 34. So you definitely, if I were you, I would find a natural body of water. That always makes you feel so grounded to me. But not everybody, but of course, definitely spend some time in nature. Come back down to earth. When we find awareness like this in our lives, it is so hard to be in our own bodies. It feels so out of body. It's like when something traumatic happens to you in the moment, it feels like it's not real, like you're in a dream. When you unlock something that happened in your past, it's almost like you're remembering it for the first time. This can be like, guys, I'm not a psychologist or anything like that, okay, or doctor or anything, but it's kind of it's a feeling of PTSD, and it can feel so dramatic in the same way. So grounding yourself, actually putting your feet on the earth like you are grounding your veins into the earth like roots. It will help you to come back to the reality of the present moment. I think that's really important. The other thing here with that says, pull yourself close, number 27. Every part of your being is deserving of love. See the little kids? Oh my God, guys. There's something that's really deep here. For some of you, it has to do with healing. Every part of your being is deserving of love. Whatever's happened here has something to do with you feeling like being vulnerable is dangerous. Being vulnerable causes pain. You've attached the feeling of vulnerability to pain. So when you start to feel vulnerable when it comes to love, no matter what that is that you love, it's attached to that pain. It's attached to that feeling of abandonment. You may have felt like either you were not provided for, comforted, nurtured in the way that you were meant to be, or the way that you should have been. But that has nothing to do with the ability for you to give love, but also receive love. Because you could be somebody that can give, but you have a hard time receiving because of that. You have number 15, get lost. Fall deep into the rim of imagination. Sometimes when we put our feet on the ground, kind of like the star in tarot, or not the star, the temperance. Sometimes we have to be in this place to where we understand what we are losing, or we understand the fears that we have and why they're there. The understanding of why they're there and that connection can also set us free. Because if we can go back to that and say, this is not a real feeling that I'm feeling, this is actually just a part of me that I experienced in a moment in my life and time, then you're able to identify and have that awareness, see where that connection sits or where it lies, and you can imagine something totally different from that. What if I can be vulnerable? What if I can open up? What if this is the best thing ever? What if I did have courage? What if I found the dry land? What if I found peace? Does that make sense? I hope it does. I hope it does for whoever needed to hear that. The one card that, by the way, fell on the floor was this one that almost made me cry. The number 27. Why are they showing me this? 28, 22, 5, 5, 8, 4, 7. Sorry guys, hold on, I'm counting. I'm missing 6. 6, 7, 8. And 2, 4, 4, 3. And 3. 2's here. I think that this says every part of your being is deserving of love. There's something to do with growing up or an innocence, something to do with having an innocent or being innocent and healing around that. Being innocent. I think this has to do with having grace for yourself, because I did talk a lot about that earlier. Okay. All right, you guys, these readings. I'm going to be honest, King of Pentacles is here. Look at that, 3 of Wands. I was thinking the 3 of Wands when I said that 3 and the 6 was the number, some of the numbers that were missing here. So 3 of Wands in reverse is like being afraid of the unknown, and the King of Pentacles is like, I need to have this leadership. I need to take control. I feel comfortable. I feel safe. I need to feel safe. I need to do what I need to do to better myself and everyone else around me. And this is being afraid of making the wrong decision or choosing the wrong thing or not taking the right direction. You know, it's just like that captain in the boat being afraid that he's sending everybody the wrong way. Okay. Here we go, guys. What does pile 3 need to know at this time? The 4 of Swords. We have the Page of Pentacles that's in the reverse. We also have the Sun that's in the reverse. So we have some Leo energy here. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Time is on your side. I just heard it in my head. Time is on your side. And the Lovers. There's that love I've been talking about. Look at that. Now, if this is a love reading, of course, you do have Trust in reverse, so that needs to be something that needs to be straightened out, right? But with that Wheel of Fortune and Lovers being next to each other, this is like fated relationship. This is like a feeling like you are fated to be this person or to be with this person or to feel this or to have this. This feels like a once in a lifetime type thing. I don't have wax apparently somehow on my hand. I don't know where that came from. But maybe there's something to do with that. I don't know. Maybe you feel like you're running out of time. Maybe when it comes to trust or trusting a situation. Yeah, because I heard somebody say one time, that wheel does spin. But you have to know when to get off or when to jump for it or go for it. And here you would be jumping towards the lovers, which is that choice. But you have to have courage first. But this is like the wheel is going, if you miss it, you'll end up on the other side and then you've missed your opportunity. But you can't do anything here that you need to do until you can see something clearly. I think that's what you're really looking for. With the sun in reverse, it can be reevaluating something here. Reevaluating something that was said or perhaps what you want to say. You don't want to, something about a disappointment. Reevaluating or what you want to say about a disappointment. Four of Swords. The Eight of Swords. You're really kind of stuck in your head here with this patience. It's like you're trying to be really patient with yourself as this goes by, but then you're also like, you're stuck in your head here as well. Like, kind of like me right now. I know I need to go lay down and elevate my feet, or I'm going to be swelled up, but I also want to finish this reading, and I'm fine, guys. I'm just using that as an example. When you're in your head like this, it's like you're keeping yourself in this place. You're keeping, I don't have to think about this right now. I know I'm going to sit here anyways, but this is like you're keeping yourself stuck in this place of let's reevaluate this. Let's think about this one more time. Should I do that? Should I stop? Should I go lay down? Do I need to put my feet up? It's like, let's reevaluate. And then you get stuck in a pattern. And that could be part of that Wheel of Fortune there as well. King of Wands in reverse. That's Leo energy. With that Page of Pentacles, it's like somebody that's doing some serious procrastination. And it could be because there's a place of you that may not know exactly what you want. But I think it has more to do with what you want as far as how you want to lead something. Which direction do you want to lead something into? And can you trust this? It's funny, I feel like you're asking yourself a question that you've already really truly answered in your heart. You just haven't faced it with your head. Does that make sense? I really don't know what I mean by that. But I feel like for you guys, whoever needed to hear that, it makes sense. It's like, when sometimes our heart is telling us what it wants and what we need to do, but our head is like, it just kind of just scatters everything up. That's what's going on here with you. And it's like you're aware of it. This King of Swords here in reverse with that Page of Pentacles, this is definitely someone that's procrastinating, taking the lead here, or taking the initiative, or, going for it, or being that leader. It's like they know they need to, or they have to, or they should, but they are definitely putting it off, and they keep reevaluating, keeping themselves stuck here. But it's because of the Sun. Now, what's the saddest card in the deck? The Sun in reverse. Because without the Sun, nothing grows. Without the Sun, you don't have happiness and joy. And all the good things, right? The flowers are not the same without the Sun. There's a song that says, you want to be with somebody that helps flowers grow in your darkest places. That's the Sun, right? That's like being somebody's sun. I think there's some sort of idea of when you want something so bad, or you feel you have such strong feeling for something, that that if it doesn't work out, the disappointment is going to be that much worse. And there is a fear attached to that. The Six of Cups. Oh, there's that baggage. Don't worry, we all have them. We all have baggage. We all carry invisible baggage around. Did y'all know that? Some is heavier than others, but we all can do it, you know, at different times. Some can be heavier than others, but we all have our baggage that we carry. That's as a Six of Cups. It's right there. That could be a card of that child energy that I read into earlier when it comes to that trauma or healing. It can also mean that I needed that drink of water so bad. It could be, with me saying that, it could be with, it's like, you know, there's this feeling of knowing, like that desert, like you know that you need to do something here, or you know what you want or what you feel like you need. I think it comes more down to what you know you need. I think for some of you, you may be afraid of your own self. And that's so interesting, isn't it? This could be somebody around you as well, or someone that that you're with. For some of you, some soulmate energy, but there is a big disappointment here that's in the middle of your spread that has caused you to maybe even be very, this leadership, this Aries energy and distorted Aries energy can be very strong-headed, you know, very dry humor. I love you, Aries. I have some best friends that are Aries. I also have an ex-husband that are Aries. So I've seen both sides, and I fell in love with him. So there's a love and a whole nother side that's there, right? But you can be, there is a sense of being very dry, very, but it's coming from a place of almost trying to protect yourself in like a smart aleck kind of way. You know, people that kind of throw that out there and they're being a smart aleck, but they're also like defending themselves in a way at the same time. It's funny, I keep feeling thirsty and you have Six of Cups right here. Which is about emotional baggage, you know, but this isn't a bad card. It has to do with memories. The problem is the sun's in reverse on top of it. So there's some sort of fear of losing perhaps some memories, or fear of having to relive something over again that is a huge disappointment. And this could be a pattern that you've already realized that you're in, or this could be the pattern, this breakthrough that you're having, is that you're recognizing this about yourself, that maybe you sabotage things, and you don't realize that, you know. The Two of Swords in reverse. Aren't all these decks, y'all? I would advise you, and no, this is, I just saw 3553 on the timer angel number. I would look that up, but it also is a mirroring energy, so you could be mirroring here if there's someone else here. Definitely, probably some kind of partnership or someone else here in mind. I don't remember what I was going to say because I just can't shut up. Dang it. Oh well, it's important. It will come back around. Two of Swords in reverse. Oh, it's the decks. I wanted to tell y'all, even if you just watch for a second or freeze frame towards the end, just take a look at all these tarot decks because they are so beautiful. Every one of them that I've used, y'all might see a lot of because they're so pretty. The artist work, I just feel like they don't get enough credit at all. And now we're having a mark on our cards and stuff. It's horrible, but anyway, just beside the point. You have this Wheel of Fortune here. You may kind of beat around the bush or something. That Page of Pentacles in reverse is what I just did to you guys. I kept needing to focus here, but I kept kind of like putting it off in a way, or putting my mind onto other things. You may sidetrack yourself a lot here, or keep putting something off a lot in some way, and it has to do with the decision. It's because you find yourself indecisive and you reevaluate here, and then you get stuck in your head here. You don't feel confident, so you hold back. You start to remember the disappointments from before, and you want to have the courage, or you feel like it feels right, but then you fall back into this making, what if I make the wrong decision, and reliving this all over again. This is the cycle that you're in, guys, or someone around you is. Good news. If they can get past this courage that's right here in reverse, then they're going to have this breakthrough. And I do feel like it's coming either way with this Lover's upright. Remember when I said you have that feeling in your heart and you know what you're going to do, even if you're still in your head not so sure about it, your heart is. You know, it's like your heart and your head talking to each other, and your heart says, we know what's going to happen, you know. We know exactly where you're going to go. We know exactly what you're going to do. And your head's going, well, no, that's not true. We're going to think about it one more time. We don't know. We haven't made that decision yet. And you're just going back and forth. But guess what? I'm going to tell you right now, your heart wins with the Lovers and that love with breakthrough right there. And what else? The King of Pentacles. I love tarots so much. You have Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck in reverse. And this right here is what your whole reading has to do with. When that Ace of Pentacles is there on the table, you have an opportunity on your hands. It's right there. Now, you can decide, do I want to repeat a cycle? Do I want to sabotage? Do I want to reevaluate? Do I want to get stuck in my head? Am I having a hard time making a decision? Do I have the courage for this? Can I be this leader? Or, I want this. I'm making this decision. I'm going for it. I have the courage. I have the strength. I know what I need to do. I trust myself in making this decision. And this is up to you guys. And I love readings like this because, woo, there's some sad cards under here. Look, there's your Empress and your Ten of Cups. Yeah, I mean, you got a gold mine sitting. This is a manifestation. This is something that you've created for yourself that's here, and now you don't know what to do with it. What is going on? You have this Queen of Cups in reverse. That's holding back emotionally that's there. Someone is. Cancer energy. You have Gemini and Virgo here as well. You have that Nine of Cups, which is a wish fulfillment. This is something that you've wished for, you've waited for, you've wanted. You have the Six of Pentacles, which is an equal give and take, a balanced, a fair relationship or a fair situation. Ten of Cups. That is emotional fulfillment right there. You have this Empress here right on top of that Queen of Cups. That's just coincidental, the way I put that out. But Taurus and Libra energy. Then you have the Five of Cups in reverse because, I mean, there's this understanding of what it is that you would be, like, what could go great. Okay. How do I explain this? The five, hold on now. Just stop just 1 minute and relax, Holly. The Five of Cups in the reverse is when you know you've been in a certain space and you need to get out of it. That Nine of Cups is what it is that you want. Okay, I know I need to get out of this. Now, what is it exactly that I want here? What's my wish in this? What's my desire here in this? And you have an Empress and a Queen of Cups that's sitting right here next to you. Which I guarantee you is sitting there on hold. But hold on, we'll figure that out. You have a Seven of Wands here with that Six of Pentacles. So this is needing to defend what it is that's fair here. Needing to understand and defend and understand what's fair for the situation for you. How you kind of give here equally as well. Ten of Cups, you have that Three of Swords. Ten of Cups in reverse is knowing that this could be happily ever after. The Ten of Cups is, this could be like that family you always wanted, or that, you know, everything that you imagined, big dream that you had, or a goal that you wanted, or whatever it is, everything all in one right there. And this is the duality I was talking about. This is the happiest here, and this could be the worst case scenario, that Three of Swords. And this is like your whole world being like flipped upside down. And this is the fear. And this is why this Ace of Pentacles is in reverse. It's funny because, you know, everybody's like, oh, you get opportunities, you get this opportunity. But that doesn't mean that we take all the opportunities that we get. And sometimes we miss out on those big opportunities that we've manifested for ourselves, that we've wanted out of fear of losing what ultimately we desire in the first place. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that just wild that we do that? There was one thing I wanted to see. I want to know about this. If this is somebody that's here, I want to know what this person would say to you. And don't ask me why. I just feel the call to figure this out. So, let's see. If this Queen of Cups in reverse, this Empress, could say anything, what would they say to pile 3? And this could be your energy as well. You have, I fantasize about you. So if you've been questioning whether or not that's the case, and then I'm sorry. Wow. Anything else? Can't stop there, right? These are all shadow cards. I never used to look at you that way. I need security. Oh, this one's big. This is a big deal. And the Empress and that Queen of Cups especially, I'm going to tell y'all, I'm Cancer and I am the Queen of Cups. And Cancers have to have security. Think of the Cancer being a crab inside of a shell. Have you ever seen a crab get scared and go back into its shell? It takes a while before you see them come out again, doesn't it? This is like something that I'm feeling like right here. So this is somebody that's saying, and this could be you, but I need security here. Yeah, this is someone that I feel like does have this desire here for you. They are sorry here, maybe, for something that they've caused or some damage that has transpired here. There is a way that they may be looking at you differently from where they've seen you or have looked at you before. And this could be mirrored, you know, with the both of you. But through all this, and these are all shadow cards, so there's still some things that this person is learning and going through and trying to heal from when it comes to these aspects here. Ultimately, this is someone that needs security, needs to feel safe, needs to feel secure, needs to feel like they're making the right decision. And to be honest with you, that's the mirror, because you're doing that same exact thing. Isn't that crazy? Look at the bottom of the deck. It says we're more alike than I admit. That's pretty cool. Just out of curiosity, the Hierophant in reverse is underneath that. Taurus energy, underneath the Magician. The Hierophant's about commitment, morals, values, your belief systems, and we did talk a little bit about that in the beginning as well. So, bottom of the line, guys, y'all got an opportunity on your hands. It's just about finding that courage and strength and having that breakthrough that you're wanting, trusting yourself and being the leader in this. Doesn't mean you have to choose it. Everybody's going to be something different. You know, I am a believer in free will. It's all about the lessons. This is going to be an inner child card, which we kind of already pulled for some of you, but some of you, this may be a different scenario. So, listen. It says, listen. The number 25. Your inner child has something to say. Yeah, there is most definitely, I cannot emphasize this enough to you guys. Okay, I'm going to get one more card for y'all for this, but there is something here for a lot of you that has to do with your inner child that is, it's having an influence on the decisions that you make now. That's the easiest, most simplest way I know how to put it. And I just saw the Mother card, so some of you, that Empress and that Queen of Cups, that could be that motherly energy. Okay, well, What am I waiting for? Someone else to do it for me? So there's something here you're needing to acknowledge about yourself and doing something here for yourself. I'm not going to look at this yet, but we'll read it here in just a minute. This one says, are you waiting for hold on. Let's try that again. Are you waiting on someone else before that you can take that big leap? What if you were to take a life into your hands and forge your own path? Put your heart into action and ask yourself, what risk can I take to move towards your dreams? Make a decision and do it. No more waiting for others. Do it scared. Take the leap. Today's soul journey. That's pretty funny how this card came out, huh? No more thinking, only doing. Be brave, and you will discover what you are truly made of. Wild soul, strong heart, can't lose. I love that for you guys. Let's see what this one says. The Three of Swords is trying to follow it out, so I'm going to keep that. God dang it. I told y'all, did I not tell y'all? I saw that, a mother's love, with the Three of Swords. Some of y'all have a mother wound. And whatever this wound is, it is attached itself to every decision that you may make in love, somehow or another. And it may be something that could also be self-sabotaging your own happiness. So for those of you that resonate with that, I would take a look into that. I'm going to read this to you now, and I'm going to try not to cry. Because I also no longer have my mother. And this doesn't have to be a negative thing as well. This doesn't have to be some kind of horrible trauma. For some of you, that might be the case, unfortunately. But this could also be, just like myself, a loss of a mother, or a loss of maybe just having that motherly energy that you needed, that you needed that guidance. You needed to know how to nurture, how to love. Okay. A mother's love is reaching out to you at this time, holding you close. She knows how much you miss her, and she wants to remind you that special bond of love can never be broken. God, ain't that the truth? If anything's ever happened to you with a mother where you never felt like you got a mother's love like you deserve, and we all deserve that. All of us deserve that. There is nothing like it. The feeling of it, there's nothing like it. If you have been without that feeling, that doesn't mean that you cannot have that feeling still. You find that feeling in other things. You find it in Mother Nature and how she loves us despite what we do to her. You find it in your own children. You find it in animals that we love and care for. You find it in your career that you love. You find it in helping others. You find it in relationships and other people and other family. That motherly, loving energy is always there, even if you haven't gotten it from a actual mother, unfortunately. Okay. I'm going to let that just marinate with you guys. And this girl's going to get some initials, and then I am going to go prop my feet up in my 600 pillows with my cat and my heating blanket. And I'm going to take a long nap. I really hope that all these helps, guys. Also, and I keep forgetting to say this. Ooh, there's some good ones there. I did start a membership channel, and I'm going to try to put up, there's going to be some videos on there that I released at one point in the very beginning, some like old videos. I just want to put them on there because I just want them to get out there. I mean, I don't want them to go to waste, and they've been in my archive here forever. And then also some shorter posts, and then some random posts. I'm just kind of putting some stuff out there so y'all maybe just know a little bit more about me. It was actually a friend of mine, Mosaic Mermaid, over at Mosaic Mermaid Tarot, and she started her own membership and about wanting to be more herself and avoiding, you know, some of the trolls that we have to deal with here. And she's the one that kind of gave me the inspiration of, you know, being yourself and putting yourself out there more. And I really appreciate her for that. And I think that she's very brave. And I think that was very, I commend her for that. And I realized after talking to her and telling her all this pep talk about how she just should be herself regardless, I also wasn't being the very best at doing that myself. And she's just helped me remember and remind me of that. So go check her out as well. I'll leave her information for you down below. And yeah, let's see what we got. Okay. Well, we got about 500 strings. You may have still a lot of strings attached to a lot of things, or maybe a lot of responsibilities. You have 4 strings that are here. It may be important to somebody. You also have Piglet, which is all about being curious. So some of you may be curious about religion or your morals or values or beliefs, or maybe responsibilities or possibilities, sacrifices. You know, curiosity about making sacrifices and what you want to sacrifice. Then you have an H. We have another H. We have an N, a P, a B, an A, an E, and an N. Did I say N? Yep, there's 2 N's, 2 H's. Okay. I wished I could spell something great, but I just don't see it. I see NBA in the bowl. Does that count? Of course it does. What else? I know y'all are yelling at me because there's something right in front of me. I just can't see it. We have Pan here. Maybe you've always been a Peter Pan. If you don't know what that is, that's somebody that never wants to grow up, or maybe you've always dealt with Peter Pans, you know, like they just don't want to, or they're afraid to grow up because of, boy, when you grow up, you have more responsibilities, more challenges, things are more difficult, you have to make harder decisions, and you have other people that rely on you as well. So maybe that's part of it. Okay, so I'm gonna leave y'all there. I heard Philadelphia in my head for somebody. Interesting. Alright guys, so I am going to take my nap with George. Good luck to you with this. Thank you so much for being here. Hope it helps. Hope it made sense. And I'm sending you all the love and light, and I hope to see you soon.